Fort TV ikara osemerirwe.
Ina kukora ekibiri kino kitaka kwehindulire emfire yo kibirundi kirundi alikebera mu fairo mazire kuzima ekibiri no ekitute kibikirundi ndahura nayo bakuba na olya no digida digida ekifamole indaho ukizirutuwale echakurora ekibiri kino sase
Whenever you're on your TV and you're watching Fort TV and you see that jam being played, especially on such a Saturday evening, you get to know that your lovely show, The Health Summon, is coming up. And always it is me, Rujumba Rali, the presenter of this lovely show. And it's always good to have time with you on the show. Share the little that we have, or I have with you. Of course, you know, I'm always here with some experts, friends coming from the health sector. They come and they share with them. But today it's unfortunate all of them weren't able to join me for this show that you like so much. But regardless, we are going to move. It's been a while since we met for this lovely show, The Health Summon. Of course, as usual, today we want to bring to your attention, the viewer. Today I want to bring to your attention an issue that all of us have not given attention to. But before I go there, I would want to let you know that this is the biggest media brand, at least in the Greater Toro region, the Greater Toro sub-region. This is the biggest media brand. And of course, we do the best of programming. We do the best of entertaining you. We do the best of informing you. This is Fort TV. So whenever you're there and you'd love to advertise what you're doing, you could be operating a restaurant, you could be operating a boutique, you could be operating a school, you could be operating a diary, you could be operating so many things. This is the best place to advertise what you're doing, especially here in Toro region, because we catch the biggest population of the young people. We resonate with them. We are the ones actually. We are the real market. So when you're there and you have something you're doing and you would love to advertise it, especially in this Greater Toro region, we are the best people to help you do that. This is Fort TV, and our number one aim is to keep you entertained. Oikale osemerirwe. obukuba oine ekyoliyo nokora kyona oku notunda eduuka y'amata y'engoye spare parts za pikipiki matoka buli kimu kyona eky'orikukora kandi noyetaaga abantu bakimanye guno nigwo omukura abandi bagweta omukutu nyo ninkora direct translation osaba kwebuzabuza kitamurutoro nkukikusemerera kuba omukura guno for TV nigwo gukusingayo obupoto hano mutoro saazi mbere tukubaliza for TV we command the biggest audience so twina abahuliriza baingi twina abakutorora bingi viewers and listeners so ukorenda kurangira cyone cyo kukora cyamagezi obukwijo kakirangira na for TV ninda mucha abanyana baitu ba mutahi wange kagoma mwebale mukora bukuba mukasanga mizero hano mwaranga naite nimba ijuka recently so bene mukuteka hingaro numuyamba abantu bita babulikero numbakore bikoro ebya you know ebyembabazi charity works or charity I don't know how to call it but those free services you're offering to the community, we highly thank you so much. Keep coming and announce what you're doing with us. My friend Solo Address Restaurant along Mugrusu Road. You're always watching 4TV in your restaurant. You're always following what's happening on 4TV. You're always waiting what 4TV is doing, and I believe your customers are doing the same. So I thank you so much, and keep watching 4TV. Keep showing your customers 4TV. All others can be like you. And by the way, if you want to grab a good lunch, Solo is a good guy. They prepare the best, so you can always be there and of course have yourself the most delicious of the meals that you can have. Both local spices, I don't know how they call them, snacks, and local foods. All of them is got you catered for or cared for. Now, a while ago, while I had just joined or enlisted as a student at the medical school, I was in second year, and while I was one night, while I was going about my usual night duty, a friend of mine called me. This was my OG in high school. She calls me at around 9 p.m. and says, I want to meet you tomorrow. Will you be at Regional Referral Hospital? And I'm like, oh, yes, tomorrow I'll be around. I'm going nowhere. Kindly come and speak to me, whatever the matter is. And of course, as day follows night, the next day she was with me at the facility. She actually found me in the maternity ward. And while she came, she had an issue that was greatly disturbing her. This issue, she had, of course, conceived. However, she didn't want to conceive. But this girl explains to me the way she conceived. She explains to me how she conceived. Well, she didn't want, and what lies ahead if she does not terminate this pregnancy. She shows me everything, and I see everything, and I appreciated that while she continues with that pregnancy, she should brace herself for a blast furnace. That, of course, was likely to befall her. She speaks a lot. After she had spoken a lot, I now come in to give my take. Guess what my take was? My take to this girl was that, please, keep this pregnancy. You're going to commit a sin. You're going to murder someone. You're going to do a very, very bad thing. It is illegal in the country. It is not allowed. You do not suit the conditions under which this service is offered, especially in our setting. So kindly, keep the pregnancy, do not abort. What happens? This girl tells me, no, Arari. Most of my friends, by the way, endearingly refer to me as Arari, and I take it with a lot of pleasure. That's the best sound I can hear in any language. So this girl tells me, Arali tonyambire. After I had told her everything I know about an abortion, she told me, Arali tonyambire. I think the best way she wanted me to help her was me to say, this is how you'll abort and this is what it's going to cost. But I never said anything like that. Instead, I told this girl, you do not need to abort. You do not need to remove this or to terminate this pregnancy. You need to keep this pregnancy. You need to be a good girl. You don't need to sin against the Creator. You don't need to do this bad thing. Just keep the pregnancy and you be a good girl and woman. Now, this girl says, Arali tonyambire, all of a sudden, after everything I had said. And guess what? I get moved. I get concerned. I did not fit in the chair. Everything felt like I'm stupid. But I was not willing to compromise on my strong religious beliefs at that time. I was a very, very staunch Catholic. And you know how Catholics repudiate things like abortion, family planning. Of course, you know, Catholics don't like those things. And I was a very, very staunch Catholic. But now, after I've talked to this girl, she says, Aral Tonyambire, I say, I'm going to get my senior. I get a senior colleague of mine and I tell her to help this girl. I tell my senior colleague what they had done in terms of counseling and health education. My senior colleague just starts from where I had stopped. He brings the full weight of medical knowledge and speaks to this girl what it is to abort. Even went a little bit moralistic on this issue. But the girl still came back to me that Aral, still I've not been helped. So I told her that is the best I can do for you. Kindly, if I've not helped you, you can maybe try elsewhere. Immediately, I said this, indeed my friend walked away. We were very close friends, we knew each other, and this is not the person I wished not to help at any one time, especially if I had what it takes to help her. So I waited for around 3 days. It was around 3 days, and someone told me that your friend or our OG has been admitted at a regional referral, so kindly go and look out for her, look her up and see what's going on. I say, is she the one? Let's call her Grace for the purpose of this conversation, because I want to remain confidential. So let's say this Grace. He tells me Grace is admitted, and since you are there near the facility, you can go and look around, tell us what's going on. I say, of course, I will reach there and ascertain. After I'd reached there, I found my friend. I saw my friend was in a really, really, really critical state. She had bled. And of course, she had reported to the facility late. And the facility did not have so much to do. And unfortunately, she breathed her last. So this person breathed her last, but of course, what led to her death exactly was that she tried to terminate a pregnancy through non-medical means. And this is what I want to share with you about today. The tendency of unsafe abortion and the entire practice of abortion, legalities and practice of abortion in Uganda. What does it really mean? What toll is it having, especially on the young population? As a country, I don't know what we're really thinking about this, but this is really, really, really happening. Abortions are really, really taking place. And while they are taking place, a lot of consequences are also coming along. And these are the ones that are really concerning. And I think all of us, right-thinking Ugandans, concerned citizens, should really pick interest in this. What must we do? What haven't we done right? Moderator, that is not scourge, it is scourge. Scourge. Remove the A between R and G. Remove the A between R and G, it is scourge. Thank you so much. Sorry, my producer. But the point is that abortions are happening in the country. What is an abortion? What is a miscarriage? What do we refer to? What are we referring to when we talk of an abortion or a miscarriage? Here you're talking about a scenario where a woman, girl, a female terminates a growing pregnancy or the life of a growing fetus in her womb, and also, after stopping the growth, but also removes it or forces it to get expelled out of her uterus. So, after stopping the growth, but also removes it or forces it to get expelled out of her uterus before its real time for being delivered has reached. That's what we refer to as abortion. It means voluntarily, especially for the word abortion. When you use the word abortion, here you're talking about whereby a woman makes a choice of her own to remove or to terminate or to stop the growth of the fetus inside her womb and consequently expel it out of the womb or the uterus. But this remains illegal in the country. It remains illegal in the country. It remains against the laws of the land that if you abort or if you abet, this is for medical workers, for the healthcare givers, if you help someone to abort, you are also liable, or you are also criminally liable, just like that person who sought the services of abortion from you. So largely it remains illegal in the country. However, there are circumstances where it is allowed. There are circumstances where a healthcare giver is allowed to give the service to the person in need of it. Many of these cases where abortion should be offered to the person were enumerated by the Ministry of Health, I think around 2017 and 2018. But there and then they again pulled them down. So we remain in the air. We remain at a loss as to whether we should, as to whether there are many cases or scenarios or instances when an abortion is warranted or not. So we don't know. But at least a few cases remain clear. And it is for the healthcare giver to determine if there is maternal risk. I think that is the only window today where an abortion is allowed. That one, if there is a maternal risk to the mother, if there is maybe a malformation, if there is a malformation or defective formation of the fetus or growth of the fetus inside, if the fetus is considered to be, having a lot of issues, in those cases, the mother can be allowed to access the service. But also if, in cases of rape, if a woman is raped, you are raped and, you are not willing to proceed or continue the growth of this fetus, you stand a chance of getting granted services of abortion. But so many things remain untackled. So many things remain unrevealed because I don't know why, but there are so many cases, so many things that are forcing women to seek abortion, and I don't think they are yet considered. Those are the things I want to share with you. Those are the things I want to put to the attention of you, the one who is looking at me today. Because these cases continue to happen. People continue to seek abortion. People continue to want to abort. But abortion remains an illegal activity in the country. So how do we understand that? Shouldn't it bother us? Shouldn't we be bothered by this whole thing? Because very many continue to die actually. But the service remains illegal. So I think that should concern all of us. First, should government stand in the way of a woman who wants to abort? Should government stand in a way of a woman who is not seeing any future with what she's doing and she decides to stop it along the way? Should government be the one to decide what that woman does? Because that remains a very, 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 very huge question here to answer. And I know it is debatable. I know it is debatable. Next weekend when I'm coming, I'll come with two people to discuss this subject further. I'll have a man, I'll have a woman, both flanking me by the sides. And we need to get a lot of perspectives on this. But that is one of the things we need to look at here. Should really government be the one to determine as to whether a woman proceeds or goes on with a pregnancy up to delivery or term, as medics like to call it? Because so many things are associated with pregnancy. Pregnancy is not just having something growing in your fetus and then you pass it out. Recently, all of you who followed the elections in the United States know very well that among the issues that were on the ballot last November in the United States, abortion was among the top ones. The top most issues that were on the ballot last November in the United States, abortion was among them. And here we are grappling with the same problem. The biggest difference you will find with the United States and Uganda is that the population in the United States is participating in shaping the decision or the governance agenda. And the challenge here is that the population is not even bothered. Even these girls I'm talking about, the ones who are dying while seeking abortion, while trying to access the services, are not bothered to know what exactly they should do about this. So that is one of the differences between Ugandans and Americans, perhaps. I've not been in America. But that is one of the things we need to look at. How should government come in this case of abortions? How should government help women seeking abortion? What is the role of government? Should the role of government be to stop them, stop our daughters, stop our sisters from getting the service they want, or to help them to help them access this service safely? What exactly should be the role of government? I have my own opinion. I don't know what is yours, but that remains a key thing to be answered here, because abortion is largely a choice. Pregnancy is largely a choice someone has to make, whether to get pregnant or not to get pregnant. But if you say that you're going to choose for them, then there is a way it looks. But secondly, there is some sort of a contradiction. I read it somewhere. It is not an official source, and I need to get the figures. But what is the factor is that Government of Uganda provides money and support for women who have aborted. In simple, it is called how do they call it? How do they call it? I'm forgetting the term, but it is some sort of after abortion care? Yes, after abortion care, something like that. And government provides around 54 billion to take care of the people who have done something which is illegal. Can you imagine? Government spends money on women who have aborted. That is according to their records, of course. That's according to what they show us. They say they provide around 54 billion as post-abortion. Actually, that's the word, post-abortion care. So, if you're spending billions of taxpayers' money on post-abortion care, it implies you know very well that there is something called abortion going on. And you simply do not want to accept that, but you want to, hide your head under the sand and presume something is not happening. That is some sort of a contradiction. But what goes on to happen, because there is post-abortion care, these girls, these sisters of ours, these daughters of ours, these sisters of ours, they choose to bet their lives on this loose hope of post-abortion care. They go and seek abortion services from wherever, from God knows where, knowing that after something wrong has happened, they will run to a hospital and they get helped. Guess what they find there? What they find there is despicable. What they find there is alarming. What they find there is very, very horrendous. Too horrendous. And of course, in some cases, it is actually death. Because the facilities they go to are not equipped. The facilities they go to are not staffed. They are understaffed. This is where our girls go for after or post-abortion care. And do they survive? Actually, maternal mortality in the country stands at 19 mothers a day, dying due to pregnancy-related conditions. 8%, it is said, 8% of maternal deaths in the country are due to abortion, unsafe abortion. And guess what? This is around 4 to 6 mothers. Out of the 19, 6 die while seeking abortion. So this is really something we need to look into. But I wanted to draw your attention on exactly why these girls are continuing to seek abortion. And just like the producer has written it, the scourge of unsafe abortion among younger women, these younger women remain the most ravaged by this scourge. This scourge is ravaging younger women more than old women, simply because of so many demographic factors that are associated with that age bracket. And I think we need to understand why are these girls seeking abortion? Why are Ugandans continuing to seek abortion? And if you're telling them not to abort, how ready are you, how safe are you making it for them to ensure that when they deliver, when they finally become mothers, it's not going to be haunting. It's not going to be a decision they will have to regret. Because you simply don't tell people to give birth, but at the end of it all, you are telling them there are no immunization services in this country. When your baby gets sick, I have nothing to do for you. When you get sepsis, or when you get an infection down there after you have given birth, or when they have cut you at the incision site, I have nowhere to help you. When when you're making everything hard for them, when the cost of education is so high, when the cost of food is so high. So this is something we have to look at as to why girls and women continue to look for abortion or to seek abortion even when they know it is illegal, even when they know they are sinning against their creator, but they continue to seek abortion. This is something I want us to look at exactly after we get back from the break. We're going to go in for a quick short break, and that's the break you'll always be using when you want to advertise with us. So we're going in for a quick short break, and kindly do not go away, because I'm coming back to paint for you a picture of why these girls continue to seek abortion, even when they know it's illegal, and even when they know they're sinning against their creator. Kindly stay entertained.
Fort TV ikara osemerirwe.
I want to take this opportunity to invite all mothers who are outside there. It is not only for married people. As long as one day you conceived, you went to labor, or you went to theater and they gave you a baby, the baby may be living or not living, and you're outside there. It is good to have that moment of sharing experiences from other mothers, to see what it feels to have the experiences, have fun, and have that day together. So on May, I'm inviting you at Mountains of the Moon Hotel. You come, we share experiences, and maybe we see if in any case we can also help a fellow mother outside there who cannot help herself. By the end of the day, the baby is here and the baby can't go back. We can maybe help this mother to have courage. We're going to have testimonies of mothers like me. Other people are going to ask you, how did you do it? How do you make life? Life is working out because we accepted life the way how it is, and then we accepted to move on with our heads high as mothers. So please join us on 12th of May at Mountains of the Moon from 5 p.m. up to 8 in the night. But for me, I'll stop at 9 or 10 by the virtue.
11 will be done.
Okay, so by 11 we'll be done. We go back home to find our babies and we look after them and take care of them. I thank you so much. God bless you in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Hello everyone, my name is Godfrey Usinge. By the grace of God, I'm the apostle of the Living Word Assembly. I want to appreciate you and to thank you and to wish you the day 12th, that is 12th May, Mother's Day. A mom is a woman that bared all kind of, I don't know how I can call it, but you know what your mom went through. I want to say happy Mother's Day to you all, and to the morning prayer team, happy Mother's Day, and to the mothers, and you think and thought of being mothers, please, happy Mother's Day. And to my mother, the one and only, happy Mother's Day. And I can't wait to see you, Mothers of the Moon, with the unseen models in the Mother's Experience. You're all invited. Love you.
Welcome back from that short break. Of course, Mother's Day, we will be celebrating mothers, and of course it's always a very good celebration when we are celebrating our mothers. And you know, the one thing that remains a very big task is to put life on earth. Creating life on earth remains one of the biggest mysteries mankind has had to grapple with, to explain. And those who do it really deserve the best of our honor. Those are our mothers. So when a mother when you find a mother anywhere, especially me myself, when I find a mother anywhere, I really give them the best of the respect they deserve, because it's not at all a child's play to put a baby on earth, to withstand the 9 months of pregnancy, and then you author life on earth. Whoever's done that, you have my respect. Whoever's vested the labor suit and pushed that baby, even you who was operated, who was done a cesarean section on, you also deserve and have my respect just for what you did, because it is not easy. It's not for everybody to do, and especially as men, we can only guess, we can only try to understand, to put ourselves in the shoes of you women who have gone through that. That's all we can do, because we just don't know. We just don't know. By the way, there is something, that thing of cesarean section. When a woman, because that belief continues to happen, continue to exist in our societies, in our families, among our friends, whereby if a woman has given birth by cesarean section, or you are taken for a lesser person, you are taken for I don't know what. But kindly, before you blame that woman who has delivered by cesarean section, know that before, those women who couldn't access cesarean section used to die while giving birth. A time reached when they started to remove babies from their wombs, but only the baby could survive and the mother could die. So whenever you're going to disparage a woman who has delivered by cesarean section, kindly remember to count 10 before you sound off, because you are really talking about a person who has survived death, whose life you would have lost, and every value they have to offer here to this country or to this world, they wouldn't offer. So you women, I celebrate all of you mothers, regardless of how you delivered, regardless whether you delivered, you don't know how, as long as you have brought life on earth here, you have our respect. And of course today, I'm here to share with you why are some women not interested in authoring life, especially when they have been presented with a chance, or when a chance has availed itself to them. This is something we have to ask ourselves. Are there people who do not want to become mothers? How many will you find out of 100? Do we really have mothers who do not want to give birth? Do we want to pretend that some people do not want to become mothers? Well, that is something you also have to answer, or we have to answer. But to my way of understanding, I think out of 100 you'd find one who doesn't want to become a mother. Every woman, every girl with a feminine essence in her life, in her soul, in her spirit, must have dreamt at any one time to become a mother. So it should be concerning, or we should ask ourselves, why are some of these mothers forced to say no, let this chance wait, let another chance come? Now, what is actually happening is that we have a certain population that is really not ready for anything. This population has been kept out of the national economy. They know nothing. Because if you find a 22-year-old girl seeking abortion services in a clinic, or from a medical care or a medical or healthcare worker, you are looking at a person who belongs to that population Semuju was talking about on the front line the erstwhile Thursday. Between 18 to 30 years of age, these people are 10 millions in the whole country. I'm just quoting Semuju's words, that these 10 million, only 1 million have a bank account. Only 1 million have a bank account. what is there notwithstanding? What is on the back account notwithstanding? So before we discuss pregnancy, we also need to as we discuss pregnancy, we also need to discuss safe motherhood. Because it is not wise of us to tell people to sire children, to have children, form families, well knowing that the economic realities at this time do not favor anything like having a family. That is an aspect we cannot in any way ignore. Today what is happening? A girl leaves or completes school. Before they complete school, well in that journey in that endless journey of education, their parents take loans, their parents sell everything they have to take them to school. They sell everything. They drain themselves to naught. But when this girl is coming back from school, she comes back home and finds nothing again. Nothing, everything was sold to educate her. Everything was sold to educate her. This girl is not employed. This girl has nothing. These girls only have their bodies to trade for a living. If she's not so beautiful and men can admire her and buy her something, she'll at least bleach. She'll at least dress indecently to make sure she attracts a person. This is what our daughters are going through. This is what our sisters are going through. They must earn a living, and they are only earning a living sexually. So, the person, some of them who are employed, you find a girl is employed in a bar, selling a bar, she's a bar attendant, she's maybe in a saloon, and the best they're giving her is 150, 200,000, and that money she has to, she has to complement that source of income. How does she complement this source of income? One of the ways we can pretend to not to know, but it is sexual. These girls have to go look for men. These girls have to be sick. They have to trade their bodies for a living, as to whether we like it or not. The boys or men who are sleeping with them, I could be in the same generation. And what is their plight? What are these boys going through? Are these boys the fathers to be for these girls? Because these boys are hit by the same realities. The same boys actually are going for older women. Because themselves, life is hard. So these are the girls we are telling not to abort. These are the girls we are telling, brace the situation. Brace yourselves for the situation. What type of situation are we bracing for? A situation whereby your landlord is on your case every day, every morning, every afternoon, every evening. When a child is sick, when you don't have a job, when yourself you're sick, when you're hungry, on one meal a day. So, before we talk about, as we talk about safe abortion, as we talk about pregnancy, as we condemn abortion, especially for believers and government, we need to also talk about safe motherhood. Because safe motherhood is, the idea of safe motherhood is what tells any woman to become pregnant. Most women will tell you, I have talked to so many women, they will tell you, me, I'm not yet ready. I have to first start earning. I have to first be stable. The implication here is this person is not stable. That's the implication. This person is not stable. So, how do we go about this? Do we continue to tell girls, do not abort, carry on the pregnancy, to only land in hospitals where there are no doctors, to only land in hospitals that do not have PPEs, personal protective equipment? We tell girls, carry on the pregnancy, but these girls will not be able to educate their children? Are you telling a person who is not earning a person who cannot afford insurance, a person who is not guaranteed lunch of tomorrow or supper of today to carry on the pregnancy. Are you really being fair? Or will I be fair if it were me telling such a girl? Because this is the situation. These are the young women we're talking about, the ones who are being ravaged by unsafe abortion. If they come to a government facility, they will not be helped. They go down there, use herbs, poison, and everything. She wants to abort. Number one reason why unsafe abortion is being sought, is sought after so much by these girls, our daughters and our sisters, is because they do not see anything like safe motherhood. The situation we're in as a country does not guarantee safe motherhood. Safe motherhood in this country remains a dream. So elusive, totally elusive. Men are battered. Recently, I saw a tweet on X. She was saying, oh my God, today being a wife is very hard. A man leaves only 15K on the table as Kameza money. So, this woman, I would have wanted to retweet or to quote the tweet and ask, have you questioned why the man for that woman is only able to leave 15K Kameza money? That's how we are as a country. Today, guys, the gentlemen are talking about with that age bracket, themselves would advise their girlfriends to abort. The medics who are providing these services themselves have to look for money. Some of them are unemployed. Very many are unemployed. He has spent days without working, or he's nowhere. He gets something to earn a living from. He will just offer the service, get paid, run away. So, it is okay to stop abortion, to continue legalizing abortion, but legalize abortion and make it normal for people, or easier for people to have safe and affordable, safe and affordable environment for them to parent these children. Because a girl will stand and ask herself, I've been impregnated by a fellow unemployed youth. My home, where I come from, there is nothing. Everything was sold away. They are still in loans, or perhaps they cleared the loans that educated me. Her landlord is on her neck. Everything is on her case. How do you tell this person to abort? A person who is sleeping hungry. A person who is sleeping hungry in a rental, in a single room. How do you tell that person not to abort? How do you convince that person to carry on the pregnancy? The best way to convince that person to carry on the pregnancy is tell her, please, your job is secured. You have a job which is not going to go away. You will be receiving care while you're pregnant. All the care that you need, you'll be getting it as a woman. That is the best way to tell this person to carry on the pregnancy. But not to wave the law at them that the law does not allow this. We shall be mistaken. And I think that is why even the country is losing the battle to homosexuality and stuff like that. Because we simply look at the issue superficially and we just run away. So, this is what I'm trying to put forward. We need to assess, ask ourselves, why are these girls continuously seeking abortion? While we legalize or we keep abortion illegal in the country, our daughters, our sisters have not stopped seeking abortion. They are continuing to seek abortion services. The challenge that comes along with this they are not safe where they are getting abortion from. We remain with, I don't know how many options, but there are not so many. The options I see are, we legalize abortion as a country. That could be number one. If a woman conceives and she's not safe, the pregnancy is not safe, we allow this woman to terminate the pregnancy. Two, which we can work better, and this is not concerning us. And by that should be one thing to ask ourselves, why are these girls looking for abortions? What I see also as an option is us to improve our healthcare services. Let a woman know that I will be able to go and deliver safely without any effects on me. But also let's make the environment in the country conducive for motherhood, for parenthood. A person who has failed to take care of themselves, a person who is facing the worst of the economic conditions today, will not think about conceiving. You'll be lying. You'll be lying. A person whose lunch is doubtable, whose shelter is in question, whose just clothing is also count. Everything about them is doubtable. Everything, I mean, it's a gamble. Someone's life is a gamble. Someone is living and they don't know how they are living. And then you tell them to create another life. I think this is something, this is number two. And this is key. And if it does not happen, you will continue, we shall continue receiving dead bodies of our children who have aborted. We shall continue receiving dead bodies of our sisters and daughters, because they will not, trust me, they will not. Trust me, they will not. A woman, before they conceive, in most cases what I have heard from them saying is that before they conceive, they first get to know the person they are conceiving for in the first place. That is when themselves are not able, because those, by the way, not every woman wants to abort. I'm just talking about women who find themselves in a crisis, and this crisis is general. This crisis is general. We seem as a country not to understand the situation that is prevailing in this country, the economic situation that is prevailing in this country. The economic situation that is prevailing in this country is really terrible. No one's daughter can envision to continue with a pregnancy when they have a future that they cannot see clearly. Such a woman, I can assure you, they will have to terminate that abortion by any means necessary. And this is where we have to concern ourselves. We have to concern ourselves with this and ask, how do we do this? What has gone wrong? Because if this woman is not showed that motherhood is okay, you can conceive, give birth, your child or children will have a future. They will go to school. When they fall sick, they will be attended to. When they fall sick, I mean, women will have, I don't think they will find other reasons, apart from other weird reasons like cheating. And there are very few women, I think, in my view, there are very few women who look for abortion because of cheating, because of, I think those numbers are few. Majority of the women aborting today are women who have conceived for a father they don't trust in the first place. They have conceived, even when a woman is not doing well financially. Once the person who has impregnated her is doing well, I think, I have a feeling or a thinking that they would say, no, this man is going to take care of us. And they would carry on the pregnancy. But it becomes worse when the man is not trustable or trustworthy, but also herself does not have any confidence in herself of providing for herself while she's pregnant and for the newborn baby and of course growing and raising her as a child. The cost of education, the cost of food today, the cost of everything. Today alone, the cost of education and the cost of medication or health alone, those two entities alone are enough to keep someone poor forever. A person who is paying school fees for 2 children here at Toro Parents, is it Toro Parents? Toro Parents, that school. If you're paying for students, okay, no, not just that school, but all schools, I think. If you're paying for 3 or 4 children, 2 children, actually 4 men, but 3 or 2 in those schools here, you're just a man. You're just a man. You are a woman. You have worked, and we have to congratulate you. So we are faced with a crisis of unsafe abortions. The numbers are staggeringly high. Our daughters, our sisters are not ready to be mothers. They're not ready to be mothers. Reasons sometimes are personal or for themselves to blame, but also reasons are for the society we live in to blame. Because our society is making it so hard for someone to be a parent. Before someone makes a decision today to become a parent, you must have lived for some time, you must have worked for some time, accumulated enough of what it takes to brace yourself for what it means and for what it entails to be a parent. In this situation, unsafe abortion remains abortion remains some necessary evil younger people are finding themselves in. I know there are motivational speakers who keep saying things like between your 20s and early 30s, life has to be hard, but my dear, in Uganda, it's becoming terrible. In Uganda, what that situation between that age bracket is like has been worsened. Here it has worsened. So unsafe abortion remains something girls have to pursue whether they like it or not. They're not ready. And we can only be understanding, we can only, brace ourselves for what that means, because we're losing daughters, we're losing sisters, we're losing friends to death because of something which would be preventing. If the rules were not so draconian, the laws were not so draconian, we would be avoiding so many deaths. If hospitals are filled with equipment and drugs and also staffed to the levels, we would be not losing these mothers who die during, post-abortion care, or even those who come with other pregnancy-related issues. So it is a lot to talk about this issue of unsafe abortion and abortions. I know I cannot exhaust it all today, and one thing you can be sure about is that next Saturday I will be here with a woman flanking me on my left and a man flanking me on the right to discuss this. We want to get so many perspectives about this issue of unsafe abortions, as to whether the laws and church are conniving against population. We shall also know, because church also needs to be lenient, needs also to understand this. You're not going to tell a person to just do something which really takes a lot to do, and you just tell them go and do it. You're like a killer. You're like a killer. So our religious leaders are becoming a little bit radical and inconsiderate here, but we will not stop here. We will have to make this issue a public concern, and of course we must do something about it. Of course, we are now, it is 3 minutes after 5, and of course this show ends at 5, starts at 4 and ends at 5. It's been the Healthy Sermon. We've been discussing the scourge of unsafe abortion among young women. I've been Aral Jumba and I practice medicine. Of course, next Saturday we are coming here to discuss the same thing. Don't you go away. See you.